This message comes from Scholastic with the new novel El Niño, an entrancing adventure from beloved and award-winning author of Esperanza Rising, Pam Munoz-Ryan. Jason Reynolds calls it a brilliant amalgamation of myth, nature, sport, and loss. I've never read anything like it. El Niño is available wherever books are sold.
Hello and welcome to Car Talk from National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers, and we're broadcasting this week from the Center for Used Car Dealer-Like Tactics. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
You know,
Here
every
at
once
Car
in a
Talk
while-
Plaza. I'm sorry.
Every once in a while, you notice that someone in a different industry or field has attempted to encroach on the used car dealer's claim to being the poster boys for sleaziness.
And mostly unsuccessfully, I might add.
I mean, warranted or not, car dealers, probably used car dealers, are the country's poster boys for untrustworthiness and all those sorts of things. Well, I'm sorry that today's candidate to replace used car dealers is Secretaries of Agriculture of the United States of America. And I tell you, I am flabbergasted.
You must have some clipping to read.
I don't have a clipping. I'm going to read you something, though. I don't know who the author is, and I disclaim all knowledge.
Go ahead.
It says, U.S. Department of Agriculture, shame on you. Boy, does this ever smell to high heaven. If you haven't been reading or watching the news, here's the story. The United States Department of Agriculture decided to define the term organic to protect us poor, uneducated slobs so we wouldn't be taken in by some unscrupulous retailers who might use the organic label on foods that don't really deserve it.
I'm with you so far.
So the USDA studies the issue for some months, and in December of 97, they publish their definition of organic. So that when you go in and you see something and it says organic on it, you can be assured that it's not some sleazeball using the expression in an unwarranted way.
Okay.
Lo and behold, the U.S. Department of Agriculture includes in their definition foods which are irradiated, genetically engineered,
Yeah.
or grown with sewage, sludge, fertilizer.
You got a problem with any of this?
Luckily, some people actually read the USDA document, and they didn't like it. And the
Put them to task, so to
the
speak?
USDA got 200,000 complaints from people saying, irradiated? What are you guys thinking? Now, this is bad enough, it says here. But get this. When they get the complaints, the Agriculture Secretary, it says here, I'm just reading here, some bureaucratic moron, in my opinion, it says, named Dan Glickman, makes a statement. Here's what he says, and I paraphrase. Now get this. They've approved things with irradiated foods, sewage sludge, and genetically engineered things. And he says, gee, we didn't realize that so many people would be upset by this. I guess we'll take another look. You didn't realize that people would be upset by this? Who the hell are you trying to kid, Mr. Glickman? Says here.
From that email that you're reading.
Yeah. First of all, if it's true that you didn't realize that irradiated, genetically engineered, and sewage sludge don't immediately leap to mind when we poor slobs think of organic foods, then turn in your resignation immediately. Do not pass go, and certainly do not collect another paycheck. Secondly, we don't believe you anyhow. We believe that you certainly did know that everyone would be upset, and you were influenced. Oh, this is tough. You were influenced either legally or illegally.
Oh, boy,
By vested interests, in my opinion.
Those are people that wear vests?
I don't know how to check on this, but I would bet my Dodge Dart that lobbyists from the irradiated, genetically engineered, and sewage sludge businesses
I knew it was those Irradians. The Irradians, I knew it.
Irradians did it. Made lots of phone calls and bought lots of lunches in 1997, in my opinion.
Organic lunches.
Shame on you, Glickman. You have given new meaning to the expression, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. Does your mother know what you did? I'm going to tell her.
Wow. Boy, that was was almost a rant and rave, but except you didn't really author most of it.
I don't know who wrote any of this. I don't know who wrote this. Somebody must have sent it to me. It came from Doug Berman. I disavow all knowledge.
That won't be good enough.
That won't be good enough. No. I wrote it.
If you'd like to talk to us, our number is 1-888-CAR Talk. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
I am Sharon, and I live in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hi, Sharon.
And I have a 1991 Taurus with 75,000 miles on it. And while I was working, I would pay mechanics any amount of money to give me peace of mind and make my car work.
Yeah.
But now I'm retired.
Uh-oh.
And I have just been given 2 quotes for a noise, a very lurid noise.
Ooh,
lurid, eh?
Lurid noise.
Every time I turn the steering wheel, the car makes a sound that kind of goes, Don't you think that's lurid?
Go, could you do that again?
If you don't get emotionally involved.
No, I won't. I promise I won't. But I'm going to record it this time.
When I turn the steering wheel.
Either way, left or right.
Left or right.
You're sitting stopped.
I'm stopped or going.
Or moving.
Or moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes this noise, and it kind of goes,
Yeah, sort of like...
You're interested in selling this car?
Well, so I live in a retirement community, and we have a wonderful little old gentleman who fixes cars.
Oh, that's good.
And he came over and told me it was going to take between $285 and $325 to fix this problem.
Because he wants to replace the power steering pump.
No.
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 Because he just replaced, let me see, the sway bar links.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I have another theory. I think I know what he wants to replace.
What?
He wants to replace the bearings at the top of each of the front struts.
I think it may be, but when I took it to get a second opinion
Okay.
from the guy up the street,
Yeah.
he said, all the Tauruses do that. Don't pay any attention to it. Now,
so his quote is zero.
Yes, and so somewhere between $285 and zero is the truth, I fear.
Well, I wrote down when you described your little problem, I wrote on my little sheet of paper that I have,
$142.50.
I wrote 225.
225.
That's what I wrote.
I wrote $142.50.
You did. It's somewhere between there then.
I see.
That makes it 186.75.
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, we've discovered on a few Tauri that we've had in the shop that if you put the car on the lift and let the suspension hang, that somehow or another it disturbs that bearing that's on top of the strut. And we've had to, on a few occasions, either take that thing apart and clean it up and grease it or actually replace it for this noise to go away.
This is relatively easy to check because it'll make the noise anytime you want it to. And so someone can raise up the hood and listen to see if the noise is coming from the power steering pump or from these little bearings.
Oh, I see.
I don't think I would fix this because I think you have the rare opportunity in the retirement complex to parlay this into some serious cash.
Well, my husband was trying to figure out some way to make some extra cash.
Well, you can take some of those old geezers around for a ride. I think that'll do it. I don't think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
In fact, I know if it's what it is, if it's what I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's not dangerous. But you should have the whole front end checked out, and I would suggest you take it to a Ford dealer.
Ooh.
And let them give you a third opinion.
Okay.
See you, Sharon.
But in neither case is it dangerous.
Well, both people told me it wasn't dangerous.
Good.
So I've continued to ride around with it. But
Yeah.
I really can't take the ladies out with me because they get alarmed.
They get all excited. Yeah. Well, maybe that's good, I think that's
love
good. You might be the new healer at the retirement community.
That Viagra, huh?
Yeah. Good luck, Sharon.
See
Thanks for calling.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
1-888-CAR Talk. That's 888-227-8255.
That's so much better, Better than the anti-log of 10.27605439324.
Just slightly. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is John. I'm a gainfully employed art history major.
Oh, come on. Where are you from?
Lower Long Swamp, Pennsylvania.
Lower Long Swamp. I love it.
There's a place in Ohio called Dismal Seepage. I think they have us beat.
Dismal seepage.
Dismal Seepage, Ohio.
Jeez. So what do you do as a successful art history major?
I'm a technical writer, and I do accident reconstruction work.
How is that a gainfully employed art history
Well,
major?
he has a degree in art history, but he's gainfully employed nonetheless.
Oh.
In spite of it, is
Right.
what he's trying to say.
That's right.
Oh, all right.
Not because of, but in spite of.
And you were an art history major, but that in no way helped you to be gainfully employed, so it was a little bit misleading to say. Don't you think?
But that's okay.
But
We like you anyway.
As long as we caught you at it, then we don't have any grudge. We don't hold a grudge.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So what's up, John?
I have a 1992 Ford Taurus SHO with a little boy's big engine,
Yeah.
and a 5-speed transmission, and I have a question about the clutch.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I took the car to the dealer to have him check something in the transmission. Head mechanic got into the car, pushed the clutch pedal down, and said,
You need a
"Tell
clutch.
you right away you need a new clutch." He hadn't even driven the car yet.
Uh-huh.
I asked why. He said, "Because you shouldn't have to push this hard. SHO clutches shouldn't be this hard to push."
Well,
Pay no attention to this guy.
Well, no, he may be right. The style of clutch that you have is called a Bellevue clutch. It's the kind of clutch that has a diaphragm and a bunch of fingers that the release bearing presses on.
Right.
And as the clutch gets worn out, as the disc gets worn out, the fingers of the clutch, of the pressure plate, get further and further from the flywheel. And they get closer and closer to the release bearing.
Right.
And that makes the clutch very hard to depress because you now enter into a situation where you're losing your mechanical advantage.
All right.
And it makes and so when you get into a car and the pedal is extraordinarily hard to push, it means one of several things. Either the clutch cable is bound up, you could just need a new cable, or the clutch is in fact worn out, or he has a boat payment due. Does the clutch slip?
No. I measured the effort level with an art history major's force gauge.
Excellent.
Yeah?
A spring scale on the end of a wooden stick.
Excellent.
Yeah, good.
It takes about 30 pounds of force to push the clutch to the floor.
Yeah. And the question is, what's it supposed to be? And the answer
You're
is,
supposed to know that.
how would we know? I know that's the question. I'm telling you. How would we know?
30 pounds is an awful lot.
Okay.
You're going to get one monstrous left leg.
Okay.
Yeah. Put a
Yeah.
clutch cable in it.
Put a cable in it. Okay.
Yeah, it's all a new cable. And hope that makes it a lot easier. If it doesn't, then you need a clutch. But you can wait until it starts to slip.
Cool.
And you won't be doing any damage to anything. So don't
Well,
worry
bless
about
your heart.
Say it, John.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now before we give the answer to last week's puzzler, we have to take a short break.
What, you tired already?
I have to go figure out the answer to the puzzler.
This message comes from Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. With Wise, you can send, spend, or receive money across borders, all at a fair exchange rate. No markups or hidden fees. Join millions of customers and visit wise.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Ira Glass, the host of This American Life. So much is changing so rapidly right now with President Trump in office. It feels good to pause for a moment sometimes and look around at what's what. To try and do that, we've been finding these incredible stories about right now that are funny and have feeling, and you get to see people everywhere making sense of this new America that we find ourselves in. This American Life, wherever you get your podcasts.
These days, there's a lot of news. It can be hard to keep up with what it means for you, your family, and your community. Consider This from NPR as a podcast that helps you make sense of the news. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a story and provide the context, backstory, and analysis you need to understand our rapidly changing world. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.
I'm Tanya Mosley, co-host of Fresh Air. At a time of sound bites and short attention spans, our show is all about the deep dive. We do long-form interviews with people behind the best in film, books, TV, music, and journalism. Hear our guests open up about their process and their lives in ways you've never heard before. Listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.
Hi, we're back. You're listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers. And here's the answer to last week's puzzler. Do you remember last week's puzzler?
Not at all.
Not really. I didn't think so.
I honestly don't have the vaguest idea.
And it was you, I believe, who said, "Good puzzler."
Did I?
I think so.
Well, that's good.
Here it is.
Go ahead. It'll come to me.
It's gonna. As soon as I say the first three words, you're gonna say, "I remember it." A mother has 2 kids, and the older one is a boy.
I still don't remember.
The chances that the younger
Oh, that one! Yeah, I get it
the
now.
chances that the younger kid is a boy are 50-50, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty simple.
sure.
And almost anyone could have gotten that just by what? Guesswork.
Well, most people think that the chances of everything
It's a 50-50, especially when there are boys and girls involved.
Yeah.
Now, here's the puzzler. Suppose a mother has 2 kids, and not the older one, but just one of them is a boy. What are the chances that the other one is also a boy? Now, if you draw out little pictures, there are 4 possible scenarios.
Yeah.
Older
Kid-
boy, younger boy. We'll call that B and B. Older boy, younger girl. Older girl, younger boy. And
Yeah.
older girl, younger girl. That's it. If you're going to have 2 kids, that's it. All right? Now, in the first case,
Of course.
when I say the older one is a boy, then it immediately leaves out the last 2
Exactly.
possibilities.
That's right.
Okay? It can only be boy, boy, or boy, girl.
That's right.
Right? And
That's
so
left.
in order for it to be the other one to be a boy, it's a 50-50 chance.
Right. So you're going to have boy, girl,
Right.
or,
Now,
yeah,
when I say that one of them is a boy,
yeah,
I believe it or not, it is counterintuitive.
it certainly is.
It becomes harder for the other one to become a boy. And the chances are 1 in 3, because if you look at the scenarios, you have boy, 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 girl, and girl, boy,
Sure.
right? If for the other one to be a boy, it's got to be choice number 1, which is boy, boy, because you already said that one of them is a boy. How can the other one be a boy? It's 1 chance in 3. Hard to believe, isn't it?
It's hard to believe.
I don't believe it.
I don't either.
Well, it's
But it is true.
It is true.
And evidently, Marilyn has a lot of data. And the way I remember this puzzler now. You said you stole it from Marilyn.
Well, I didn't really steal it from Marilyn. I stole it from Stephen Miller.
Yeah, but don't forget, Marilyn stole it from somebody else, so it's fair game.
Oh,
But the way that she proved it, she said, "Here's how I'm going to prove it," and she asked people to send her letters.
oh yeah, right.
Anyone who had 2 kids, and the first one was a boy. How many had the second one a boy? And 2 kids one of whom was a boy. How many had the second
Right,
one as a
and
boy? And it
She
came out
proved it empirically,
empirically.
just like we did with the Monty Hall thing.
Exactly, which I guess is okay. But I like the more elegant, abstract, mathematical solutions myself. I mean, but that's the kind of guy I am. I'm an abstract kind of
Yeah,
guy.
you're abstract. All right. Do we have a winner this week?
I don't remember. Yes, we do. The winner is David Ward from Atlanta, Georgia. It's good to be down among the magnolias.
Oh, don't start.
And for having your correct answer chosen, David, from among the thousands of answers that we got this week, you're going to get one of our CDs, Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford, all calls about couples and cars. And what about the lawyers are from, what's going to happen now? Lawyers are from Mercedes.
Daimler. Men are from GM, women are from Ford, and lawyers are from Daimler. I don't like it.
Oh, boy. This CD, by the way, David Ward from Atlanta, Georgia, is a big hit with marriage counselors. It has generated more business for them than anything else that ever came along the pike.
Anyway, we'll have a brand new puzzler coming up in the third half of today's show. So don't touch that dial. In the meantime, we'll take your calls, of course, at 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Dave from Birmingham.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Well, my wife got this 78 Cadillac. It's got a nervous gas gauge in that sucker.
78 Cadillac?
Yeah, Sedan DeVille.
Go ahead.
Okay, what happens, it's got a nervous gas gauge in it. Up until recently, everything was fine. If you fire off the ignition and turn on the switch, the gauge comes slowly up like you'd expect in a nice, elegant car like that.
Yeah.
But not anymore. All of a sudden, it goes twang, and it's up there. And as you're motoring down the road, it jumps back and forth by maybe a quarter of a tank every once in a while.
Oh.
So what's the damping mechanism in that sucker before I tear into it? Got any idea?
Damping mechanism? There's
Yeah.
no stinking damping mechanism.
Okay.
The sending unit is free to move as quickly as you want it to move.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you were to take the thing out, you could just, it looks like, not unlike the float that's in your toilet bowl. Not the
Yeah.
bowl. What's that other piece?
Tank.
Oh,
The tank.
toilet tank. Something else. Never mind. And it moves just as freely, and it bears upon a resistor. And as the resistor changes, the signal that gets sent to the gauge reflects that change in resistance.
So you think there's simply a capacitor somewhere under the dash?
Oh, yeah, but that's not where the problem is. The problem's in the tank.
Oh, the problem's in the tank?
Yeah, because when that thing goes to open, the gauge goes all the way to full. If you were to cut that wire or disconnect it in this car, the gauge would read full all the time.
Okay.
So the problem is you're going to every once in a while the thing is going to what appears to be an open circuit, and that's why the gauge goes up to full.
Oh, so you think the problem's in the resistor in the tank?
There you go.
Yeah, so you're going to need a sending unit, but that's easy to do.
Gas tank sending unit.
Yep.
All right.
See you, Dave.
Thanks for calling, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, do you know what it's time for?
Oh, time to translate all of our Chrysler apologies into German?
9-9! It's time to play Stump the Chumps! This is a stupid part of the show where we voluntarily bring a caller back onto the show to find out if we were right or wrong in the advice that we gave.
Or the caller's lawyer has insisted on this as part of the settlement agreement.
Right. So who's our chump stumper this week?
It's Paula from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Don't remember.
Paula called about a month ago with a Ford Bronco that she said was whistling from the dashboard.
Oh,
Remember?
it was in perfect thirds. Is she the one?
There you go.
For every 500 RPM increase in engine speed, the pitch of the noise went up by a perfect third. Oh,
All right. Stop singing, will you? I'm trying to enjoy the Zamfir dream sequence here. Because the vacuum goes down. The way you're going to isolate it is you're going to find that hose that comes through the firewall.
Yeah.
And you can plug that thing with a little rubber cap and then drive the vehicle, and the noise will be gone.
Okay.
I don't want to ask any embarrassing questions at this late hour.
Never stopped you before.
But how does this explain
Every day is the answer.
incremental thirds every 500 RPM?
I don't.
I mean, sure, anything you can say, anything makes a sound. She gave us some very precise specifications
I don't know.
here.
I do not know what peculiar dynamics are at work here. I missed this course.
Then don't waste our time
Well,
with the rest of your theories because they don't matter. You can take your vacuum hose and stuff it.
What are the things?
Now, I'm not sure, but I think I detected a very slight lack of confidence in my diagnostic prowess.
No, it's just that I thought you were completely full.
So we admitted that we had no idea how to explain the precise rise in pitch of her noise, and we thought the noise was related to a vacuum, or I thought the noise was related to a vacuum leak at the heater control unit. Did we have a backup answer?
Yeah, we did. It was the fuel pump pressure regulator.
I don't like the odds here. Come on, let's get it over with. Paula, are you there?
Paula, wait a minute. Before you leave my brother holding this vacuum hose, we have to ask you the following legal questions.
Is it true, Paula, that you have not been offered any cash or prizes by members of our staff, the staff of National Public Radio, or any Preakness jockeys in exchange for a favorable answer here today on Stump the Chumps?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, so
Okay,
what
good.
happened when you found that vacuum hose and disconnected it?
Well, actually, I didn't get to finding the vacuum hose.
Oh.
See, you also had a third answer
We did.
that you glossed over really quickly.
It was probably mine.
Yeah, it was.
Oh!
and it was low coolant.
I said that?
Yeah, real quickly. It's like, yeah, my brother thinks it's low coolant, but forget that.
See, my brother's always casting aspersions on my ideas.
That's right. And so I went home and I said, well, here's what they said to do, but here are the other two little suggestions. So we back flushed the radiator system.
And the sound went away.
Yes, until Sunday. And then we added water, and by adding water, the noise came back.
Okay, well, it's nice to talk to you. See you later, Paula. Bye.
Well, I have to say that A, I have no recollection of having talked about coolant level, and B, even after you say that I did say it, I have no idea why, because I don't understand. I still don't understand.
It was a comment you made in passing about the coolant level.
Yeah, but he does that all the time. He just spews out. It's like a volcano. There's all kinds of stuff flowing out. I mean, it all lands on the ground.
And it's like, well, we got to find the hose and block off the hose, but we got to do this first anyhow. So might as well just do this. But now the noise is back, and I know the coolant has something to do with pressurization and vacuum. So maybe abstractly you are right about vacuum.
Yeah. See, I rely completely on my guts for these things, and that's why I don't have it. I don't know what the reason.
Because the brain left him long ago.
I mean, when these guys do the healing with the laying on of hands, they don't know how it works. It just works, and you don't question stuff like that.
Of course not, especially if they're paying you the big bucks.
Well, thanks for playing Stump the Chumps, Paula. You've managed to lower our batting average even lower.
Right, so we don't know if you do not count in the statistics because you're neither a yay or a nay here.
Well, I mean, she does, at least she knows that the noise is related to coolant level, and although even with that, we are unable to help her.
Well, I was partially right because I said vacuum leak, but it's a coolant leak, so I had the leak part right.
Right, and it's all connected together.
There we go.
And it's all part of one big system, the vacuum coolant.
All the various leaks.
The leak system. Well, Paula, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
well,
thanks a million.
It's been great talking to you.
And we'll send you a washer dryer for your trouble. See you later.
And if you find out anything that could help us to understand the inner workings of vehicles, please let us know.
Well, you did help a lot.
Okay, that's all.
Bye-bye.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Okay, now before we get to the new puzzle, we have to take a short break.
Yeah, my brother is going to go into the dressing room. We have a dressing room here, and he's going to stand in front of the mirror and rehearse the delivery of the new puzzle.
Well, not exactly. I've got to invent the new puzzle. Give me just a minute, will you?
Yeah.
Shortwave thinks of science as an invisible force, showing up in your everyday life. Powering the food you eat, the medicine you use, the tech in your pocket. Science is approachable because it's already part of your life. Come explore these connections on the Shortwave podcast from NPR.
A lot of short daily news podcasts focus on just one story. But right now, you probably need more. On Up First from NPR, we bring you 3 of the world's top headlines every day in under 15 minutes. Because no one story can capture all that's happening in this big, crazy world of ours on any given morning. Listen now to the Up First podcast from NPR.
Is America sliding towards authoritarianism? Hundreds of academics say yes.
It is certainly reversible, but we are no longer living in a liberal democracy.
Where is American democracy heading? Listen now to the Sunday Story on the Up First podcast from NPR.
When the Star Wars prequels came out, they were polarizing. Many fans of the original trilogy hated The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, though many younger fans loved them then and love them still. So we're rewatching them with fresh eyes 20 years later. From Jar Jar Binks to the climactic no that broke the internet in half, listen on NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast.
We're back. This must be the third half of the show.
This is the third half.
You're listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars, car repair, and the new puzzler.
Yeah, lay it on us, baby.
Well, this met with mixed reviews in the green room.
Where is the green room?
But I'm going to
Why can't I ever go there? Yeah, okay, go ahead, use it.
You seem
anyway.
to be stuck in the room with the porcelain fixtures, but I'm going to use it anyway because I think that it will send a little joy to Julian Portway, who was kind enough to email us this puzzler about 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, look, it takes time
the
to
wheels
read
of progress grind slowly, don't they not?
Exactly. You gotta if you're going to read things as carefully as you do, it's going to take some time.
Indeed. Here it is. And I hope that I will try to obfuscate and clarify at the same time.
Okay.
2 men are found dead in a cabin in the woods.
Not this one.
You would think
I'm sorry.
that you would be supportive and helpful.
I'm sorry. I realized immediately that I should have been doing exactly that. Because God knows you need as much help.
Can I try again?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
2 men are found dead in a cabin in the woods. That's much better. Come on, this is 2 men are dead here. This is serious stuff.
Okay.
This doesn't warrant any laughter.
No, I'm sorry. 2 men are dead. Yeah, go ahead.
In a cabin in the woods. Small cabin, I might add.
Yeah.
There is no evidence of their being shot, stabbed, poisoned, burnt, strangled, drowned, starved, or bored to death from listening to car talk. The cabin did not burn down. A tree did not fall in it. They were not attacked by animals, and they did not die of old age or natural causes. Seems to cover just about all the bases, does it not?
Yeah, I guess they're still alive. They just look dead. Sort of like us.
Both men had been healthy in their late 20s or perhaps early 30s and were married. Well, relatively healthy. Anyway.
Were they married to each other?
I don't think so. And their wives were hundreds of miles away at the time and alive. The question very simply is, how did the 2 men die?
All right.
Thank you for that resounding show of support. I can't tell you how uplifting it's been. Now, if you think you know the answer, or you're basically a shut-in and just want to communicate with the outside world, send your answer to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge,
Our Fair City,
Ma 02238. And you can also communicate with us as to whether or not you think this is a good or bad
Yeah, I'd
puzzler.
like to hear that one.
And, of course, you can email us your answer from our website, cartalk.msn.com. Just click on the Talk to Car Talk section, and if we choose your correct answer at random from among all the correct answers that we are certain to receive for this magnificent puzzler, you'll get one of our CDs called Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford, etc., etc. It's a CD about couples and cars and how we screwed up their relationships and their lives
And
forever.
it makes a wonderful leveler for tables with those uneven legs.
Especially those outdoor tables. Which
Exactly. Now that it's that time of year.
Yes.
All that lawn furniture and that table that keeps rocking back and forth, you place the CD, and you can use either the CD itself, or you can use the case that the CD
Or a combination of the...
or a combination of the two, giving you 3 different height adjustments.
Or if you got one of those real cheapo tables, you can buy the 2 CD set from us. If you'd like to call us, the number is 1-888-CAR TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, Goombas. This
Yeah.
is Mike Savino from Sacramento.
Hey, Goomba, from where?
Sacramento, California, but formerly from Brooklyn.
Yeah, we knew that.
How can you tell?
I wrote Sacramento, New York.
Did they make a movie? I saw a movie where they put a guy from Brooklyn in the witness protection plan, and they made him a vintner out in California. Was that you?
I'm not going to tell.
He can't tell. That wasn't Steve Martin in that movie.
What's up, Mike?
I got a 1980 Chevy Suburban. It was shifting. It seemed to be shifting sort of late, like it wind up real tight. You know?
Yeah.
High RPM. So I brought it in to the transmission shop.
Good.
And the first thing the guy did, he said, okay, cut the engine, open the hood.
He adjusted the kick-down cable.
No, he reaches in for the fan. And he starts to move the fan by hand. He says, oh, I think this is the problem. We take it for a ride. And he says, oh, it's marginally late as far as it's shifting, but your problem is that your fan clutch is seized up.
Oh, so it's turning all the time.
Turning all the time, making a lot of noise.
So what you're hearing is, what you think is the thing winding out is excessive noise from the fan clutch.
Exactly. I was stunned.
And he figured that out just like that, huh?
Hey, not only that,
wow.
He sends me on my way and didn't charge me anything. He could have taken me for $300.
What's this guy's name? I'm going to send it in right away. What is he, nuts?
I'm telling you, I felt like Socrates with the lamp looking for the honest transmission, and I found him. Yeah, so he says to me on my way. Then I went. My problem is I went to my mechanic, Tony. I called up. His wife answers the phone. She usually answers half the problems on the phone. Dell. And Dell tells me, I said, hey, do I really need to change the fan clutch? I don't care if it makes noise. It just is going to turn fast. It's going to keep the engine cool. That's great. She says, no. It'll put a strain on the water pump.
No.
So I want to know, do I really have to bother to change the fan?
No, back in the old days, in fact, if you had bought the 1970 version of this thing, they didn't have a fan clutch. You just had a fan.
And the fan was turning all the time, just like yours is turning all the time.
You had a fan stuck on the front of the water pump. So every revolution that the water pump made, the fan made a revolution.
Uh-huh.
And it turned all the time, and they put the fan clutch on to save a little gasoline.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to get you up from like 8.6 miles to gallon to like 8.65.
That's right. I get about 9.
You get about 9. Yeah, that's good.
So it makes a difference. I should bother to do it. And this is something simple.
No, it does not make a difference. I don't understand why Tony's wife is concerned about this.
No, it doesn't make a difference. It's not going to put a strain on the water pump. It's not going to put a strain on anything except maybe your wallet. But you're already getting, I mean, how much worse can it get? 9 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
You haven't noticed a precipitous drop in the mileage. How would you?
No. But isn't this something simple I could do at home?
Yes.
So maybe...
Drive the truck into the living room. No, the fan. There are 4 little bolts that hold the fan clutch onto the water pump, and then there are bolts that hold it onto the fan.
Right.
So you're going to extract the fan and the fan clutch as a unit and separate them and put the new fan clutch on and bolt it back up to the water pump.
Okay.
Or forget about it.
Or forget about it. Don't mind the noise.
But we can tell that you're looking for something to do.
It sounds like a hurricane when it's winding up tight before it ships.
Well, you just said, I don't mind the noise.
Yeah, in town.
But you lied.
Nah, it's driving them nuts.
You lied, didn't you?
On the freeway, it bugs me. So what I do is I only drive into town.
Well, that's too bad because you get better mileage on the
You're not developing a twitch or anything, are you?
No. I have to turn up the radio louder.
This is a great vehicle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real workhorse.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do out there in Sacramento?
I work for the government, state government. I give away to taxpayers money to medical schools and schools of nursing.
Oh, aren't you nice?
So they could teach nurse practitioners,
Yeah.
physician assistants, and family practice residents.
Very good. So do you get an opportunity to skim a little off the top?
No.
How about off the bottom?
That's in Brooklyn.
Middle?
We come out to California, we straighten out.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling, and good luck with your fan clutch.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
1-888.
What do you mean can you skim any off the top? That's not a valid question. I mean, first of all, would he give you the answer?
Maybe by mistake he would.
If it was Boston, he'd say, of course, doesn't everybody? It's pretty sad.
It is indeed. Well, it's happened again. You've wasted another perfectly good hour listening to Car Talk. Our producer is Doug Berman. Our associate producer and dean of the College of Automusicology is Ken Rogers.
Oh, that was straight
Our
here.
assistant producer is Catherine Imelda Ray Marcos. And our engineer is Jonathan Superhighway Sideburns Marston. And our menu advisor is Mr. John S. Lawler. Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Marge Novera. Our customer care representative is Hayward Jabuzoff. Our attorney general in charge of tobacco settlements is Hubert H. Humvee III. Our director of catering is Russell Upsenbrub. And our singing urologist is Aretha Franklin. Peekaboo Street directs our intensive care unit, which is known as the Peekaboo ICU. Our junkyard manager is Ricardo Desmontalbon. Our director of moral support is Hugh DeMann. Our sexual harassment counselor is Pat McCann. And our Leo Tolstoy biographer is Warren Peace, author of Leo Tolstoy by War and Peace. Our chief counsel from the law firm of Dewey, Sheehan Howe is Hugh Louis Dewey, known to his friends as Huey Louie Dewey. Thanks so much for listening. We're Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers. Don't drive like my brother, of course, both without saying, my sister.
Don't drive like my brother or his sister.
We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
And now here is our chief mechanic, Vinny Gumbatz, with some highly pertinent information.
Hey, now, if you want a copy of this week's Car Talk Show, which is number 21, the number to call is 1-888-CAR-JUNK. You got that?
Yes, and if people wanted other Car Talk paraphernalia, T-shirts, CDs, would they call that same...
No, you'd call Janet Reno and ask her to hand-deliver the stuff, you dope. Of course you call the same number, 888-CAR-JUNK, where you can get stuff through the online Shameless Commerce Division at cartalk.msn.com.
Thank you very much, Vincent. You've been very, very helpful to us.
Hey, help this, will you? Car Talk is a production of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe and WBUR in Boston.
And even though Sylvia Poggioli says, porca miseria, chi sono questi cafoni, when she hears us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
Support for NPR comes from NPR member stations and Eric and Wendy Schmidt through the Schmidt Family Foundation, working toward a healthy, resilient, secure world for all. On the web at theschmidt.org.
Great conversation makes for a great party. But how do you ask the questions that really make the room come alive? Well, here at Life Kit, we got you.
What is a path you almost took but didn't?
On our latest episode, how to ask the magical questions that'll make your party sparkle. Listen to the Life Kit podcast from NPR.
When Malcolm Gladwell presented NPR's Throughline podcast with a Peabody Award, he praised it for its historical and moral clarity. On Throughline, we take you back in time to the origins of what's in the news, like presidential power, aging, and evangelicalism. Time travel with us every week on the Throughline podcast from NPR.